books were the big influence. Going to the library, I can remember as a maybe 11 or 12-year-old going to the library and pulling out books on Leonardo da Vinci's drawings of horses in particular. I come from a background of illustration and a childhood connection between word and image and storytelling, so it seems quite natural that also in a method that incorporates a lot of intuitive kind of stream of consciousness mark making, that words sort of enter into it. The other aspect of text and the image for me has to do with there being a sound element. It's as if I'm working with a still image like a drawing, but when I'm drawing it, I hear the world around me, and I often wish I could make the drawing move, and also the importance of sound to create a world. So the text is often not readable because I just want the sensation of sound or voice without reading the text. So that's kind of an allusion, I guess, to a voice speaking without really reading the voice, but more hearing it in the work. The ephemeral wall pieces. I don't get an opportunity to do that very often, in a gallery space or a public space. And if it's possible to do it, I really like that because it's a way of creating more of an environment. It's the drawings are often very small and detailed in the case of drawings, and sometimes the paintings. So to be able to kind of pull a detail out, make it big in the space on the wall is a kind of nice sort of change in scale. I feel like it may be more interesting for the viewer, and it makes the space more unusual. It's not just the expected walls with things hanging on them. So I like that. It kind of manipulates the space a little bit, and it can create a segue between different works, because sometimes the work that I do, it's not a clear connection between different images. They often play off of different themes and ideas. So after I've completed a body of work, to be able to have the opportunity to manipulate the surround is another way for me to think about the audience and the act of moving through the space and encountering the very minute and then the very large space and the effect on the viewer. The only odd part about it is to spend hours of work on a piece which ultimately, a few weeks later is going to be painted over. It's very freeing. I don't mind at all that it had its moment and that it was painted out, because it's made specifically for that gallery space or that particular place. It's not intended for anywhere else. You have a fantastic idea, but if you don't have the language to convey it with, either you have to be very imaginative and make your own language or something like that, but how are you going to convey it? There has to be some vehicle for that idea. And drawing is probably most consistent for me for really very practical reasons. You can draw on a bus. You can draw while you're on a hike. You can draw late at night. All you need is a little sketch pad or something like that. You can go anywhere. It doesn't cost very much, paper and pencils. So it's just the most accessible medium. I was thinking about, there's the materials that you use. I've been doing a lot of drawing recently with very mundane kinds of materials, pencil and paper, and why I'm choosing those materials. And then the concept or idea out of which the work comes and what I'm trying to communicate and explore. And there's also subject matter, what am I depicting in the imagery? And all of those things are interconnected. And but I think, to me, I would say, if I was going to talk about my own work as an artist, I don't think of myself as a technician. I'm not really, I respect and enjoy very involved, layered work. I really do. In visual images, in music, in literature. But when I work, each artist has their own way of working. As much as you may admire or respect the way someone else does something, you have to really stay true to your own sort of direction. And I think I work in a very intuitive kind of fashion, and I really like a balance between a sort of spontaneity and then a concept that I'll return to again, or a theme that I'll explore. The drawings that are in this particular show, which is called Midnight Sun, are really explorations that came out of being aware of seasonal changes. And a lot of the iconography, I wanted to capture the feeling or sensation of the movement from autumn into winter as an interior state of mind, to express it not as a literal landscape, but to express it as a kind of interior landscape or space or feeling. As an artist, you discover new things, you see things in a different way, and so your work, when you come back, is a kind of an artifact. It's like a map or some sort of object that you come back with that has some residue of that adventure.